What is going on? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Craziness. Craziness. Getting rumors today. Rumors are starting to heat up. Steelers are looking to get rid of. What's going on, Jar Devil? What's going on, Richard Campbell? What's up? What's up? Rumors are heating up. Steelers are looking to trade Pickens, move up in the draft. Hey, Vaughn, what's going on? That is some rumors. And that's my thoughts exactly. Trading Pickens just leave. I mean, we didn't accomplish anything by getting DK Metcalf if you trade Pickens, unless the Steelers can get a second round pick and they take a wide receiver. So that would be the only way. I'm still not out of the question that now I don't want to pay Pickens this year. I want to see what he does, and I would probably franchise him the next year. But I'm still under the impression, since the quarterback of the future is going to be either a quarterback in this draft or next year's draft, then why the hell wouldn't you can pay him and DK Metcalf. You can pay them both because you're not paying a receiver or a quarterback, excuse me. I don't know. And I know what everybody's saying. Hey, you trade George Pickens, you get a second round pick, you can take a wide receiver then. Are you positive you're going to get a wide receiver that's as good as Pickens? Now, granted, you could say that about any draft pick, but you know what you have in Pickens. Like if he just grew up, and maybe he never will, and maybe that's the problem. They don't think he's ever going to grow up. But if he ever did, his talent is crazy. So that's my whole thing. It's like people get nervous about paying him. I'm like, don't be nervous about paying him. Be nervous about paying him unless he grows up. Nah, Mark Malone, no. I'm with you on that. We don't agree on a whole lot of stuff, but we agree on this. I would go back to the Steeler teams of the Killer Bees that had no defense, that lost what was that playoff game to Jacksonville 45-42 because we couldn't stop Blake Bortles. I'd go back to that. That's how jaded I am of us not having any offense. I would literally go back to that. So I would go back to that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Yeah, I'm just that jaded. So, and I don't think they should trade Pickens at all. I just don't. That's not the move. Not for me. That's not the move. I think it's stupid. I have no qualms about saying it either. I think it's stupid. Like I said, you're not in a better position. You're right back where you started. You're having to then try to draft a wide receiver. It is a grueling experience trying to watch those offenses. What's grueling about it is that, look, I don't think the Steelers' defense is, from the outside in, people talk about, oh, this championship defense. They have a championship defense. No, we don't. But they're better and can be better if they just had an offense that, let's just say the offense goes on an 8-play drive, but then they have to punt. Okay, at least you had 8 plays, but the constant 3 and out, 4 and out. I mean, oh my God, it just drives me insane. Like if the Steelers got the ball at the 20-yard line and they went 8 plays, that means they would at least got a first down. 8 plays and they have to punt, or 9 plays and they have to punt. I would be okay with that. At least you're holding the ball. You're letting your defense rest. But our offense has been so bad, they can't even do that. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So we get a second and a fourth round for Pickens. I don't know if you're going to do that. I don't know you're going to get a second and a fourth round for Pickens. I mean, if you do, you could talk about it. But again, like I said, the only problem with George Pickens is his attitude. And maybe that never changes because he's so immature. Maybe it'll never change. You know, there's nothing saying that this guy doesn't grow up until he's 45 years old. So, Lawrence Thompson, Big B. My wish at 21 is the safety from South Carolina. Dude is a beast. Let Mason hold it down for now. Why do we need a safety at the 21st pick? Like, if we're mad about paying Mika Fitzpatrick $18 million, why again are we signing? Because we are paying him that, and he's on the team. And Deshaun Elliott played outstanding football last year, and he's only 28. Why are we trying to pay a safety that's going to be a backup next year? I don't get that. I don't get that. And I'm not saying the guy's not talented. I'm just saying the Steelers don't need a safety. So, there's a second round pick for Pickens. And who are you taking with the second round pick? Like, what are you doing with it? Let's just say the Steelers do that. And again, I'm not saying it's an awful move. I wouldn't do it. But who do they take with the second round pick? And there's no way Bigba's going to be there. Noel or Higgins. I mean, I would take Higgins over Noel, but I get what you're saying. But if you trade him, again, how did you help yourself? And what I'm saying by that is you trade Pickens for a second round pick and you turn around and you take a wide receiver. How did you help yourself? Jalen Milroe? Dude, no. That's all I'm saying. Because Higgins isn't better than George Pickens. Neither one of these, nobody in this draft at the wide receiver position is better than George Pickens. Let's just put that out there. There isn't a player in this draft better than George Pickens. So how did you help yourself? That's all I'm saying. You know, now if this was a different draft where there was big time wideouts all over the place, yeah. Okay, I get it. I'm with you. But if you do that, you trade Pickens, you get a second round pick, what do you do? So it's right. You didn't with the pick. You reset the clock. Why do we need to reset the clock? Now, getting rid of a headache, that's something I'll get with you. But resetting the clock, who cares about that? Nobody cares about that. The salary cap is a myth. You can feed the people that you want to pay, you pay. If Philadelphia Eagles do it, everybody does it. So resetting the clock is an old way of thinking. As Steeler fans, we got to get out of that way of thinking. We got to get out of the salary cap and we can't pay that. Man, people manipulate that thing all the time. You can pay whoever you want to. You can pay whoever you want. But as far as getting rid of the headache, I'd be with you, but I don't think you do that. Because again, you traded George Pickens and replaced him with a player that's worse. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And I know I'm wishing and hoping for the unattainable, and that is for George Pickens to actually mature. And I know that's not going to happen. I keep saying it. I keep saying, well, maybe he's going to mature and maybe he's going to be better. He's not. He's not, man. So he's not going to. But part of his frustration is not getting the football. That's part of it. What's going on, Tim Hopper? Yeah, that's the whole thing, is that part of my frustration is that I am hoping and praying for something that I know is not going to happen. Like, he's not going to mature. But you got to give him the football. And that's the whole thing. You got to give him the football. So, Vernon Lee McGee says, I don't care if Pickens is Looney Tunes. Care if Pickens is Looney Tunes. As long as he does his job, all the man wants is to get the ball thrown to him, and he's happy. So make him happy. Jimmy K just became a member, man. We appreciate you, Jimmy. Thank you for signing up, brother. We appreciate you supporting the channel. And, you know, my man, I kind of agree with that. Our man Vernon, I don't care if he's Looney Tunes. It's not that. It's then he has the effort issues. But I feel like a lot of that goes away if you throw him the football. You know, I feel like he got into the league. As a rookie, he wasn't that bad. And then a second year, he crashed out. And then last year, it got worse. You know, but I feel like they just didn't give him the ball enough. I'm like, you got to throw him the ball. You got to just throw him the ball. Sometimes you just have to force feed guys the football. Even when they're not open, just throw it and see. I mean, we know what his catch radius is. See if he can make a play. So, but I would keep Pickens, man. I don't even think it has to be a stud QB. Remember what him and Mason Rudolph did when Rudolph came in, what was it, the last 3 games of 2023 to make the playoffs? And they talked about it. They had built a rapport the year before because Rudolph was the second string quarterback, and at the time, Pickens was a backup. They built a rapport. I mean, so to me, just throw him the ball. And here's another thing about George Pickens. When he wants to, y'all have seen it. When he wants to, how good of a blocker is he? Like when he wants to block people, how good? And I'm not saying he's Hines Ward, but when he actually wants to block somebody, how good is he as a blocker? Well, you know how you become a good blocker, or how you get the best out of him? You give him the ball early. That's all. I mean, that's my whole thing. When it's time, $28 million a year for an extension, that's a little lofty for him. But and I get it, you know, guys are making more than that, and it just keeps going up. But maybe that's what it takes. But they don't have to do that after this year. They can franchise him. I franchise him. Say, hey, man, yes, you proved 1 year that you could keep it together. We need you to do it for 2. If you do, you'll have your money. You'll have your money. So, a contract with performance bonuses be an option? Absolutely not. NFL players, they don't do that, and they should never do that because they don't have guaranteed contracts. You know, if NFL guys, if you sign for 5 years, $30 million, and you got all $30 million, then contract performances, bonuses on top of that, yeah, they would do it. But when it's 5 million, 30 or 5 years, 30 million, and you're guaranteed 18 million, and then after 2 years, the team says, well, we're going to move on. The rest of that money's on the table that you didn't get. Yeah, so you can't be doing the contract for, I get what you're saying, but you can't do that. So, and he's not up to negotiate his contract this year. This is just the last year of his contract. And I would also tell George Pickens this: if you hold out 1 second, you're not getting an extension. And we will franchise you. So you choose to do what you need to do professionally. But I'm telling you right now, you haven't earned the right to hold out on us. You haven't earned that right. And if that's what you want to do, you go right ahead. But you will not get an extension, and we are going to franchise you. So if you want to play football over the next 2 years, it will be with the Steelers. I mean, here's the thing. You can franchise TJ, but he won't sign it. First of all, TJ's already been paid once. After taxes and all expenses, I would bet he's got every bit of $50 million. So he doesn't have to sign it. He could just say, you know what? Screw you guys. I'm not signing anything. And if I don't play football anymore, okay, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. I got $50 million in the bank. Goodbye. So no, they can't do it. Trez Top, thank you for the super chat, man. Said Pickens is one of the 4 most talented players on the roster, in my opinion. I'd like him to retire a Steeler. Well, I don't know if I'd like him to retire a Steeler. I be honest with you, I haven't even thought that much about it. But as far as talent, I mean, just sheer talent, I think 4 is a stretch. I think George Pickens is the most talented player the Steelers have. I don't even think that's up for debate. Be honest. I don't think it's up for debate. I think he's the most talented football player. Again, strictly talent. We're only talking about talent. But as far as that's concerned, I think he's the most talented football player the Steelers got. So, yeah, I know you were being conservative, Trez. I get it. Highsmith is super talented too. Yeah. Yep. I'd like to see someone like Rudolph tossing the ball to DK, GP on the outside, whoever isn't double. Or how about this, Mark Malone? How about we get somebody to throw the ball to DK or throw the ball to George on a dig route? How about that? How about we start throwing dig routes? That's what I would like to see. I'd like the Steelers have their offense get into the 21st century. Hell, I don't even know what I'm talking about. They've been running dig routes since the 60s. How about we just do that? You know, how about we get somebody on a shallow cross every now and then when they're open? So, would I say Pickens is more talented than Plaxico? Yeah, I don't know what your affiliate of your love of Plaxico Burress is, but while Plaxico was a pretty good player, like he wasn't like the most talented guy. He was never a top 10 receiver. I mean, come on, man. I mean, Plaxico was fine. Don't get me wrong, but talent-wise, he wasn't just, oh man, Plaxico's got all this talent. No. So, yeah, Rudolph is a quarterback. He's got some escapability, but he's not what you would classify as a mobile running quarterback. He's not that for sure. So, Torsho, what's going on? I was hoping to see Rodgers, the DK, quick slants. That combo could be lethal, especially if we keep George Pickens and snag a good running back. Yeah, I mean, if y'all ask me a question about Rodgers, I'll answer it, but till he signs, not talking about him. Pickens is the second most talented Steeler ever. Now you've gone overboard. As a matter of fact, you've gone way overboard. So come on now. Let's bring it back to reality. Oh, Steeler receiver. See, you didn't say Steeler receiver, or maybe I didn't read it right. Yeah, you did say Steeler receiver. Okay. I apologize. As far as talent, I mean, he wasn't more talented than Antonio Brown. He wasn't as talented. Hell, I mean, Hines Ward was a good receiver, but Hines Ward, just sheer talent wise, it wasn't the most talented guy. So, Santonio Holmes was pretty talented. Mike Wallace, I don't know. Was Mike Wallace really talented or was he fast? We forget about John Stallworth was extremely talented. He just played in an era where you ran the football. But first of all, John Stallworth, I don't know about you Steeler fans, it seems to always be a secret, but John Stallworth was a better wide receiver than Lynn Swann. Like, you line them up, who would you rather have? I'm taking Stallworth 100% of the time. And that isn't because I think Swann was bad, but Stallworth was better. Yeah, and you may be right about that big pun. Tommy Maddox, a Tommy Maddox type of year, you might be right. A lot of yards, like a Jameis Winston. A lot of yards, but a lot of picks. Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic. Well, Fitzmagic also created the Fitz shit because he had to have magic because they always put you in the shit house. Throwing all those damn interceptions. Calvin Austin won't get 1,000 yards, not in this offense. Then he's not getting it. I'm not saying he's not a good receiver, but he's not getting 1,000 yards with DK Metcalf and George Pickens and Pat Freiermuth. There's no way. Unless the Steelers somehow throw for 7,000 yards. So, if they do, then okay. But I don't think that's as. Lewis Lip. See, Yancey, now you're trying to be funny. So, yeah, Calvin Austin's not going to get enough targets. But here's what I would tell you, people. I love the Steelers go 5 wide. You got Pickens on one side, DK on the other. Next to either one of those guys, you got Pat Freiermuth. On the other side in the slot, you got Calvin Austin. And then if Roman Wilson has anything, throw him in there. That's why I was excited about that quarterback that used to play for Green Bay and the Jets. Because I'm like, if he can just dissect that, we'll be okay. So, we'll be okay. We need a right guard. His weak link on the O-line. He'll be better this year, man. Last year, he wasn't even supposed to be playing. He was supposed to be a backup. He was moving up from the FCS level. He's 4th-round pick. He wasn't even supposed to be playing last year, but he had to because of injury. And not only did he have to because of injury, because the other guy that was ahead of him was absolute garbage. You'd think Mason McCormick struggled. Did you all watch Spencer Anderson? He was absolute dog water. So, right. That's the thing about McCormick. He started 14 games. There was no way that he was supposed to play last year because that was James Daniels' job. And even Spencer Anderson ahead of him as kind of the swing guard. But he got where it looked like he hit a rookie wall last year. But the one thing you can't teach is his motor, his enthusiasm. You can't teach that. Him and Frazier have crazy motors. They're the two guys that you hate playing against because they always hit you a little bit after the whistle, always block you a little bit after the whistle, always bump you when they're walking back to the huddle. Have a little something extra to say. The guy that you hate playing against, but you love that he's on your football team. That's Mason McCormick. If he can just figure out a little bit of technique, the Steelers got something with that. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. So I can work with what he's doing. I can absolutely work with that. Yeah, he's got to be better. And I don't know if he's our Draymond Green, especially early in his career. Early in Draymond's career, he was decent offensively. Decent. Knights 21 said he's still okay with drafting a wide receiver in round 3 if the right guy is there. I mean, I am okay with the Steelers taking the best available player. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Knights, with keeping Pickens with the best available player at that position. Yeah, because again, the Steelers are going to go a long time without a draft pick. They're going to pick at 21, and then they don't pick again until the 3rd round. What is that, 86? Something like that? I mean, they're going a long time without taking somebody. So, Torsha said Pickens is our Draymond. Yeah, he's a crash out machine. You're exactly right. And I know that's where you were going with it, too. I know it. So, somebody's in here calling me a Cocoa Puff. It's amazing what happens when you go on the vertical feeds. So now I'm a Cocoa Puff. Okay. Man, Juju, first of all, I didn't get on no damn Thunderbird. Don't be accused of me of being on no Thunderbird. I wasn't on no Thunderbird. That big pun in here on the Thunderbird. I told y'all, man, I even had my wife say, man, just go online and see if we can find some. Can't find it. Amazon, can't find it. Called 3 different liquor stores. I told y'all I went to one. He laughed at me and said, man, you can't, Thunderbird, we haven't had that in 12 years. I'm like, my God. So, what's up, Almighty Finn? Ravens fan. We don't mind a Ravens fan coming in here. Don't be coming in here causing no shit, though. Actually, you do, man, because it makes it fun. You know. Come on in, brother. The thing about it is like I like the community that we've built, and I say we because I'm just the face. We are the community, and is because we can get on each other. We can tell you you're stupid, you're crazy, yada yada yada. But you're not going deep with it. Like, you know how it is. Sometimes people get on there. I mean, you can get on here and call me fat. I just, you call me fat. That's because your mama probably loves me. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But, we get on here and we get on each other about it. But we're not taking personal shots. Like, you're ignorant. You've never known anything. Y'all don't have to walk with me because my phone's about to die. We just have fun. My phone's about to die, and I don't want to get off the live. So I'm just going to walk. Hope y'all don't mind. All right. Fly, Eagles, fly. The Eagles got some stuff going on, man. They do. We do. Almighty Finn said, I'm a stuff starter, but I'm respectful as long as everyone else is. So, Thunderbird, boy. Y'all love that. Big Pun loves his Thunderbird, people. We're going to have to work on Big Pun because while we kid and joke, Big Pun's an alcoholic. Big Pun is an alcoholic. He's on that liquor, man. He is on that liquor. So, am I upset about Russell Wilson signing to the Giants? Absolutely not. And anybody on this channel will tell you, I was the first person saying we don't want Russell Wilson, not another snap. Not another snap. You're warming up to Derek Harmon? Hey, man, I like them. I like them. So yeah, you ain't lying, Trez. If you're drinking Thunderbird in 2025, first of all, you might be dead. That's number one, and we just don't know it yet. Your liver has completely given up at this point. Your liver is just saying, "Oh man, you drink whatever you want. I'm not working no more." Or you're not a real person. Or you're just not a real person because there's life choices in 2025. We got a lot of choices, man. And if your choice was Thunderbird, oh my God. Like I said, my mama used to drink Thunderbird. That was back in the 70s. 70s. Mad Dog 2020 for Mark Malone. Man, look, I've only drank Mad Dog one time in my life. It was in college, tasted like Kool-Aid, drank a ton of it. I don't think I've ever been sicker. I don't think I've ever been sicker in my life. And I said that and Southern Comfort. I was like, I don't even want to smell either one of them ever again. So the Remy XO now, hold on. Let's talk business. Let's talk business. Nah, I'm not doing the Ripple. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not doing none of that. Or the Wild Irish Road. See, y'all are trying to get me in trouble, man. First of all, I'm not an alcoholic like you guys are. Okay? I'm not. I'm not an alcoholic like you all are. I enjoy a drink from time to time. An old fashioned, something like that. Something an old man would drink. Something to sip on. Y'all are trying to drink a half a bottle in 45 minutes. I got stuff to do. How am I gonna make these videos if I'm drinking Wild Hours Rose? You know what I'm saying? Hella crazy. When is the Super Bowl cooking stream? You know what? Here's the thing. My partner that I do this with is going to be here next week, and I'm sure we're going to brainstorm on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to be grilling, and we're going to do something. So, because I love grilling, I got my Steelers. I got my Steelers apron. I got my Steelers hat. I got my Steelers utensils. I mean, I go all in. Now, if there's one thing, there's certain things that I can't do, but the one thing that I know that I can do for a fact is grill. I mean, I didn't get the name Big B not being able to eat and cook, you know. Chow did say you trying to say you're a Steelers fan and not an alcoholic. Not possible. Come on, man. It's the almighty Finn talking about Bacardi 151. He's trying to burn people's esophaguses out. That's not a good thing. Cabo Wobble. See, the alcoholics, boy. Sean says Pickens won't grow up. He was a question mark attitude. And that's why he fell out of the first round, because his attitude. But you're right. I'm just hoping that he would. And I keep saying it, and it's a hope and a prayer. I know that he's not going to. So, y'all do me a favor, man. I appreciate it. If y'all are in and you haven't already, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. So, Steeler fans drinking like Saints fans. Saints fans get after it, man. Zay, you're coming through. I don't know if I'm going to have an open invite. What I really want to do is, because I think we're going to end up going to a couple of days of training camp this year in Latrobe. What I really want to do is, if anybody's there or around there and you're going, everybody get together at a sports bar. That's what I really want to do, is get everybody up there for a couple of days. What's going on, Unforgiven? Go up there for a couple of days, and one night, whatever night that happens to be, and we get together at a sports bar and we just chop it up. Bill is on y'all, though, of course. But yeah, man, that's what I would love. I would absolutely love to do that. So, and I'm pretty sure we are going on to training camp this year. I don't know. We just have to figure out the date. But again, in typical fashion, you can't figure out the training camp dates because they haven't released when training camp even is yet. So Liam, that's not funny, man. Don't do that in here. Don't do that. Talking about we can't win the first round. We know that. Pickens is a monster player with DK. Rudolph has a deep ball, but we need a QB. Dart. I don't like Dart. Solitary, man. I don't like Dart. You may be right, but I just don't like Dart. I don't like the offense he came from. Got escorted out of St. Vincent one camp for unruly behavior. I wonder why, Big Pun. I wonder why they walked your ass out of there. Why do you think? I mean, hell, you had Thunderbird falling out of your mouth. I wonder why. Oh, no, you didn't drink Thunderbird. I forgot. Big Pun, what was it? It was some kind of tequila and something that you got had Mike Tomlin drinking at the owners meeting when he was doing all that damn sweating. So Knight said he quit drinking at 25 and 42, but started drinking hard at 14. I got you. Good for you, man. Almighty Finn, I was in Indianapolis, what was it, 2 weeks ago on the 29th of March. My high school team won the state championship, the 4A state championship. So I was just there. And I'm from not too far from there. I mean, I grew up in Louisville. So I've been to Indy a million times. Dart QBR drops from the 90s to the 80s when he goes to the second read isn't good in clutch moments. Yeah, I just don't like him. I don't like the offense that he's in. That's what it was, Big Pun. Cuervo and Old E. Jesus Christ. Cuervo. Who the hell drinks Cuervo and Old E? So, what high school did I go to? I went to Jeffersonville. It's all the way south, right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky. So, we hadn't been back to the state championship game since 1993 when I was there and I was in it. So, how far up the board do you think Pickens plus the 21st? Oh, now that's a good question, Jimmy. How far up with Pickens plus the 21st pick would get us? Say if we were trying to make a move for Shedeur, I'd trade Pickens and a good QB if I could. That's the thing. Like, I like Shedeur. But now if you're going to tell me that we got to trade George Pickens and the 21st pick to move up, I got to get more than Shedeur. I got to get more than that because Pickens is going to garner at least a second. So you can't just give me a first and that's it. We need more. So I'm going to go back out here. I think I got charged up enough to finish this anyway. So UFL practice yesterday in Arlington School District. The whole league lives in Arlington. Yeah, they do. I'm here in Frisco. But yeah, because everything is there in Arlington. Because don't they all practice there, and then when they go play, don't they go play at other games or at other places? St. Ides, Jesus, boy, y'all just won't quit. Y'all alcoholics, man. I played with Sharon Wilkerson. I 100% did. I was just on the phone with him earlier this morning. Sharon is coming to my house in 3 weeks. So, yeah, that's too much to give up, Knights. That's a lot to give up, man. Pickens and the 21st for Shedeur? Nah, I can't do that. So, what's going on, Somber? Somber, we talked about trading George Pickens. I'm going to catch you up. We talked about trading George Pickens. We talked about showing up to training camp this year. We're all going to try to get together. We talked about me having some sort of a grilling show, you know, which we can figure out something. And of course, we talked about all the alcoholics. So if you want to add to the alcoholic part of the conversation first, that would be great. And my phone went out. My phone was dying, so I had to go charge it. So, yeah, double back. That's pretty good work. I mean, if you're trying to keep your football dream alive and you get paid $85,000 a year, I mean, depending on where you live, $85,000 a year is more than most teachers that have been teaching for 15, 20 years. So, and I know that some people where you live, 85,000 doesn't mean anything. I get that. I get it. What's up, Capricorn? But yeah, if you're trying to keep I don't watch it though. I'll be honest. Do you all watch it, the UFL? And the reason that I can't watch it is for two things. The quarterback and the offensive line play is horrendous. I tried to watch a game and it was horrendous. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm out. Can't do it. Can't do it. So, yeah, 85,000. I don't care where. I mean, obviously, if I lived on the East or West Coast, that's not going to mean a whole lot. But I just wouldn't live there. But I can make 85,000. If you can't make $85,000 work, that's a you problem. And you probably got to move. Yeah, I watch college because I love it. So, we're definitely doing a live. We're not doing a live reaction, DMB. We're doing a live stream for the draft. We'll be live streaming the draft. Now, I don't know how many rounds, but I know the first round, the Steelers Almighty, yeah, we'll be doing a live stream on that Thursday. 100%. 100%. Now, again, I can't guarantee the other 2 days. We still have to figure all that out. But we'll be doing a live stream on the first round. So, sometimes, Jay, they bring guys in for that reason, man. Sometimes they do. Yeah, I can't watch the UFL. Hey, Nightmare, what's going on? Says really hopeful of getting Grant after a trade. Down, of course. Maybe. See, people, we got Almighty Finn. We sucked him in. He's going to be a Steelers fan now. He's going to be a Steelers fan. We know the same people. So, but yeah, Almighty, you might, since you know a little bit about Indiana high school basketball, you might look up that 1993 Indiana State Championship. There's a guy on there that played a little ball. And there's somebody. I'm not going to go into details about what happened. So, never going to be a Steelers fan. Come on, man. I feel like the Steelers, we're just in this transition mode. And look, I'll be honest with you guys right now. Not that I'm not always honest, but it is hard during this time period to come up with stuff to talk about. That's why I like doing this, because, there's nothing going on but a bunch of bullshit rumors. You know what I'm saying? And that gets exhausting for me. I like talking football. I like talking things that are real, things that can happen. Now, don't get me wrong. We can talk about a whole lot of stuff, and you see it, we bring it up. But I like talking football. And there is nothing football going on right now. It is all bullshit. So, we did not have Grant in for a visit. Not only did we not have Grant in for a visit, we also didn't bring him in as a top 30 or as a top 30 visit, or we didn't go see his pro day. Because the day of his pro day, our guys were here entertaining that quarterback that played for the Packers and the Jets. So, do I remember Glenn Robinson and Alan Henderson? And yes, I was there. I was a freshman in high school. So, here's what I said. I mean, Mark Malone has kind of put it down. He says, if we can run the ball, that we're going to be good with Mason, with GP, DK, and Freiermuth. I'll say this. I've said it already. If the Steelers' offensive line is better than it was last year, the Steelers are going to have a good football team. I'm just telling you guys that right now. I don't care who the quarterback is. If the Steelers have a good offensive line and it's better than last year, the Steelers are, I mean, if their line is better and we get average play, the Steelers are going to be good. They're going to be good. I'm just telling you. So, Bubby Brister, don't start. Don't start. Bub Brister. Tommy Maddox. Give me some Tommy Maddox. And again, I apologize. You know. So, yeah, but y'all get the drift. You know, when we get the snoring, it's not me. It's not me. But what am I going to do? You know, what am I going to do? Nothing. I'm not going to do nothing. Well, all right, people. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to buck out of here and talk to you guys later. Tomorrow, we'll be live, another live show at 9 a.m. Eastern, or 9 a.m. Central, 10 p.m. Let me start over. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time, 9 a.m. Central, we're going to be live again and talking Steeler football, man. So I appreciate y'all showing up, man. Thank you. Do me a favor. Make sure once this video is out, please click on that like button, man. I appreciate y'all support. Thank you. And I will chit chat with you guys tomorrow, man. Let's have everybody have a good one.